Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad-gita, chapter 7, Knowledge of the Absolute, verse number 1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Sattamana Partha Yodram Yunjan Madasrayaha Asamsayam Samadram Mam Yatha Jnasasi Tatsrinu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Now hear, O son of Pritha, Arjuna, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In this 7th chapter of Bhagavad-gita, the nature of Krishna consciousness is fully described. Krishna is full in all opulences, and how he manifests such opulences is described herein. Also, 4 kinds of fortunate people who become attached to Krishna, and 4 kinds of unfortunate people who never take to Krishna are described in this chapter. In the first 6th chapter of Bhagavad-gita, the living entity has been described as non-material spirit soul, which is capable of elevating himself to self-realization by different types of yogas. At the end of the 6th chapter, it has been clearly stated that the steady concentration of the mind upon Krishna, or in other words, Krishna consciousness, is the highest form of all yoga. By concentrating one's mind upon Krishna, one is able to know the absolute truth completely, but not otherwise. Impersonal Brahma Jyoti or localized Paramatma realization is not perfect knowledge of the absolute truth because it is partial. Full and scientific knowledge is Krishna, and everything is revealed to the person in Krishna consciousness. In complete Krishna consciousness, one knows that Krishna is ultimate knowledge beyond any doubts. Different types of yoga are only stepping stones on the path of Krishna consciousness. One who takes directly to Krishna consciousness automatically knows about Brahma Jyoti and Paramatma in full. By practice of Krishna consciousness yoga, one can know everything in full, namely the absolute truth, the living entities, the material nature, and their manifestation with paraphernalia. One should therefore begin yoga practice as directed in the last verse of the 6th chapter. Concentration of the mind upon Krishna, the Supreme, is made possible by prescribed devotional service in 9 different forms, of which Shravanam is the first and most important. The Lord therefore says to Arjuna, Tat Srinu, or hear from me. No one can be greater authority than Krishna, and therefore by hearing from him one receives the greatest opportunity for progress in Krishna consciousness. One has therefore to learn from Krishna directly or from a pure devotee of Krishna, and not from a non-devotee upstart, puffed up with academic education. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, this process of understanding Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, is described in the 2nd chapter of the 1st canto as follows. Sranvatam swatatham Krishna punya sravana kirtana hridayantasto yabhadrani vidunoti surutsatam nashta praye sobhadresu nityam bhatvata sevaya bhatvati uttama slote bhaktir bhavati naistiti tada rajo tamas bhava kama lobha dayaschaye cheta ete anavidtam stitam sattve prasidati evam prasanna manaso bhatvad bhakti yoratah Bhagavad tattva vijnanam mutta sanrasya jayate vidyate hridaya drantis chidyate sarva samsaya siyante chasya dharmani drishta evat manishware. To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad-gita is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lust and avarice are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, becomes enlivened by devotional service, and understands the science of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection and enables one to become at once to the stage of asamsayam samadram, understanding of the supreme absolute truth, personality of Godhead. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the science of Krishna. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport.
We are reciting from Bhagavad-gita, 7th chapter. The yoga system is called attachment for Krishna, or Krishna yoga. Yoga means connecting, linked. And if we always keep ourselves connecting, linked with Krishna, then we become the topmost yogi. There are many kinds of yogis. Generally, the yogis, they think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead always within the heart. Dhyana avasthita tadgatina manasa pasyanti jam yogi. This is the yogi's business. Yogi's business does not mean simply have some gymnastic or bodily exercise and keep the body fit for sense enjoyment. That is not the purpose of yoga. Yoga means connecting. We are now disconnected. Or it is not disconnected, we have now forgotten our intimate relationship with God. We cannot be disconnected, that is not possible. Because we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, there cannot be disconnection. Just like father and son. The son may go out of home, forget his father and mother for many years, but the connection between the son and the father and the mother is never disconnected. That is not possible. As soon as the son comes home, although the son was absent for many, many years, the father receives him, the mother receives him with affection, and immediately the paternal relationship, affection immediately starts. This is our position. We are part and parcel of Krishna. When I speak Krishna means God. You know all. It is not very difficult for Indians. So, because we are part and parcel of Krishna, there cannot be disconnection. Therefore, it is a stage of forgetfulness. Instead of loving Krishna, we have expanded our love for so many things. Somebody is loving his body, somebody is loving his family, somebody is loving his society, community, nation, or the human society. We are trying to. We must love. There is no escape. I must love somebody because the propensity is there. So, the original love is for Krishna. But because we have forgotten Krishna, therefore our love is distributed in so many ways. But we are frustrated. We are not happy, neither the person whom we love, or the country whom we love, or the society which I love, they are also not happy. Because everything is misplaced. Everything is misplaced. Just like if you water on the top of the tree, or every leaf, every branch, every twig, you cannot keep the tree very fresh. But if you water on the root of the tree, it keeps fresh always. Yatha tarunmula nisechanena trippanti taskanda bhujoko shakha pranopaharāca jathindriyānam tatha sarvahanam achyutavajya. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, instruction given by Narada Muni to Prachetasas. Those who have read Srimad Bhagavatam, they know how he is explaining. So, this example is very nice. Yatha tarunmula nisecane. If you water on the root of the tree, automatically the trunk, the branches, the twigs, the leaves, the flowers, fruits, everything is refreshed. Another example is also there in the next line. Pranopaharāca jathindriyanam. As by supplying food to the stomach, all the indriyas, all the senses become refreshed, energetic. Similarly, achyutaija, by loving Krishna, Achyuta is another name of Krishna. Srinaya Rubhayar Madhya Ratha Sthapayame Achyuta. Krishna is addressed as Achyuta. So, Achyuta is by worshipping Krishna, by satisfying Krishna, you can satisfy everyone. This is the process. So here this process is explained by Krishna himself. The Shastra says this is the process. But still Krishna is explaining himself the process. The process is maya asaktamana. One has to increase his attachment for Krishna. We have got attachment for so many things. We have to divert the attachment towards Krishna. Maya saktamana prat. Yogam. This is the yoga. Junjan. One has to perform, execute. Madasraya. This yoga can be executed when we take shelter of Krishna, Madasraya. Madasraya means either you take shelter of Krishna or one who has taken shelter of Krishna, Madasraya. In two ways you can take it, the meaning. Mad Asraya. One who does not know except Krishna, he is also Madasraya. And one who has taken shelter of Krishna, that is also Madasraya. So one has to become a devotee or to take shelter of a pure devotee, to practice the yoga system. Adu Gurvasram, that is our system. That is our system. That is the Vedic system. The Vedic system is Tad Vijnanatham sa gurumeva avigachet Samitpani Srutryam Brahmanishtam. So to practice this yoga, any yoga, you have to take shelter of somebody who knows how to practice this yoga, Madasraya. Then the result will be asangsang samagrang mam jatha gyasasi tatshinu. Then without any doubt and in complete awareness, you will understand the process. And in complete awareness of Krishna, your life is successful. Simply if you know Krishna, if you try to understand Krishna, and fortunately if you know Krishna, then your life is successful. What is the success of life? The success of life is that we are wandering throughout the universe. এই রূপে ব্রহ্মাণ্ড ভ্রমিতে কোনো ভাগ্যবান জীব গুরু কৃষ্ণ কৃপায় পায় ভক্তি লতা বীজ. We are transmigrating from different bodies. Jalaja namalakhani sthavara lakhavinsati kirmayo rudra sanghata. In Padma Puran, the gradual process of evolution is there. This evolution theory put forwarded by Darwin, that is nonsense. Because the Darwin's theory is evolution of this body. In one sense it is, but it is incomplete. Actually, we are getting different types of body according to our association with the different modes of material nature. The material nature is being conducted by three modes, Satagun, Rajagun, Tamagun. So, those who are in the modes of material nature, the modes of goodness, their body is different, just like Brahmana. Simply getting the body of Brahmana is not sufficient. One has to learn how to become Brahmana. Satta, Sama, Dhamma, Titikha. But there is opportunity. If one is born in a Brahmana family, he has got the opportunity to develop the Brahmana qualities. Similarly, if one is born in the family of a Kshatriya, he gets the opportunity of Kshatriya spirit. Similarly, Vaishya, Chaturvarna Maya system, Guna Karma Vivas. But the quality and actual action, just like a boy is born of a medical practitioner, he has got greater chance of becoming a medical student, medical practitioners. But simply by getting birth as a son of medical practitioner is not sufficient. He has to take education. So, Chaturvarna Maya system guna karma vibhaga. So, Krishna does not say by birth, by acquiring the qualities and action. One must have the Brahminical qualities and act as a Brahman. Then he will be accepted as Brahman. So, we are migrating according to our karma, different forms of life. The reason is karanam gunasanga asya sadasat janmajunji. Karan gunasanga. As we are associating with the gunas, with the material qualities. So, one has to increase his attachment for Krishna by becoming nirguna. Everything is going on under the modes of material nature. Traigunna Vishaya Veda Nistraigunna Bhavarju. That is the instruction. One has to become above the transcendental to these gunas. And what is that process? The process is a modasraya, when you take shelter of Krishna, or you take shelter of Krishna's pure devotee. Then you become transcendent. Sagunan samatipta etan brahma bhuyaya kalpati. Who? Panchabhya vicharini bhakti yogena jasivati. So madasraya means, Krishna yoga means bhakti yoga. If you want to learn Krishna, if you want to know Krishna, then you have to take this process. Maya sattamana prartha yogam. And if you practice this yoga, Krishna yoga or bhakti yoga, then you become the topmost of all yogis. That is also stated in the Sankhya Yoga chapter of Bhagavad-gita. Yoginam api sarvesam madgata antaratmana sadhyavan bhajate jomam same yukta tamo. So you have to keep always Krishna within your heart. Krishna is always within your heart. Ishvara sarvabhutana vidyesvarju. He is already there. Simply you have to qualify yourself to see that Krishna is there. That is called Krishna Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. So there are many instances. Premanjana charita bhakti vilochanena santas sadaiva hridayeshu vilopaya yang samasundara achinta gunasya Govindamadi Purusantamaham. Those who have developed this Maya Sakta Mana means to develop your love for Krishna. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Prema Pumartha Maha. Generally people are attached to four principles of salvation. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. But actually, you have to go beyond moksha. Beyond moksha means Brahma Gyan, Aham Brahmasmi. I am not this body, I am spirit. So, Brahma. Krishna is for a Brahma, and we are all Brahmas, part and parcel of Krishna. We are not for a Brahma. That is not possible. Parabrahma is Krishna, as we will find in the 10th chapter. Parabrahma, Paramadhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. Krishna is addressed as Parabrahma. Arjuna is never addressed as Parabrahma. That is the difference between Krishna and the living entity. He is Para. He is Parameshwara. Ishara Parama, Ishara Parama Krishna. There are two words, Atma, Paramatma. Ishvara, Parameshwara. So, Krishna is Para, Brahma, Para-Brahma. So, people are after realization of Brahma, Brahma realization. Brahma realization is not very difficult for an intelligent man, because one can understand that he is Brahma, he is not this body. That is the first instruction in the Bhagavad-gita. Dehinasmin jatha dehe kaumaro jauvanam jara tatha dehantaram prapti. Asmin dehe, in this body, there is the proprietor of the body. Idam sariram ketram iti avidiyate. This body is khetra, is filled of activities according to our karma. But the proprietor of the body, the soul, he is Brahma, he is spirit soul. Na hannate hannamane sarire. That Brahma, that spirit soul, is never annihilated after the destruction of this body. Nitya sasasayam na hannate hannamane sarire. So we have to understand this fact. This is the business of human life. Athata Brahma Jignasa. Everyone should be inquisitive to learn about Brahma, the spirit soul. Not like animals. The animals, they have got no inquiry about Brahma. They simply eat, sleep, beget some offspring, and in due course of time die. That is not the business of human being. The business of human being is different. That is advised by Prahlad Maharaj. Komaro acharit pragna dharman bhagavataniho durlavam manasam janma tadapi adhurvam arthadam